Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are watching. Sorry about that technical difficulty at the beginning. You guys know I'm not perfect, and I will show you guys that every time. But I am the founder of this lovely program, Morning Mimosas. And as you guys know, we value criminal justice, healing, and educating for the Black and minority communities with a note that we love all people. As you guys know, before we start the show, I like to do a little bit of housekeeping tools. So here is a lovely commercial from our lovely partners, Imuna Soaps and Ganel Crafts.
Sanjanette Sayers here from Immuna Soaps and Essentials. Just wanted to send out a reminder for all of you Morning Mimosa community members. If you go to my website and use promo code MM23, you will get a percentage off of your entire order. And my website is www.emunahsoaps.com. God bless.
Hey y'all, it's Auntie Harley, CEO, founder, and owner, lots of hats, of Ganel Crafts. Speaking of hats, our signature product, the Flower Crown, can be found right at our Instagram page, Ganel's Crafts. But that's not even why we're here. I'm here today, number one, to give a shameless plug for these do-rags, because y'all been eating these up, okay? And number two, I'm giving another shameless plug. If you mention the amazing podcast, Morning Mimosas, shout out to the beautiful host, Holly, at your checkout, you get $10 off your full order. And we make some of everything, baby, not just do-rags and hats. So definitely come see us over at Ganel's Crafts. If we haven't made it already, if you send us an idea, we could probably make it for you. We adore you. We love you. From our family to yours, get you something handmade.
Thank you to our lovely partners once again, Imuna Soaps and Ganel's Crafts. As you guys know, if you use code MM23 on immunasoaps.com, you can get 5% off, minimum purchase of $7. And you guys know I usually wear my crown to show you guys, but if you guys shop with Ganel's Crafts, you guys can get $10 off your entire order if you mention Morning Mimosas. So, guys, we have I know I said this is a princess talk, right? But this is more of a queen coming on the platform. I just named it Princess Talk because, it sounded lovely because it's her job. But we'll get into that, y'all. Let's welcome this lovely queen, Miss Russell, to Morning Mimosas. But let's give her that proper Morning Mimosas welcome with this.
Thank you.
Welcome. So happy to have you on. Guys, so I am going to give a little bit of a background of where I met this lovely young lady. So I did a pop-up event with my friend Brianna here in Denver, and she was one of our vendors. And I just wanted her to be on the show, and here we are 5 months later. Manifestation really does work, baby. Just let's talk about that. But Miss Russell, thank you so much for gracing Morning Mimosas again. Like I said, I'm so grateful to have you on. Let's dive into the meat and potatoes of this. Let's tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Salynthia Russell. You call me Salynthia, Miss Russell, Sal, Sally. I have so many different nicknames. And I heard you in the intro that we labeled it Princess Talk with Salynthia. One of my businesses that I do is that I do princess parties for little girls or for anybody. And it doesn't just stop at princess parties. I will do superhero parties. I will do bluey parties. I will do 90s party. I'm planning one in the summer right now for preteen. So whatever party you want me to help you plan or host, I got you. I can do it. Right behind me, I have my Princess Tiana dress. And then this is like, I can't point it, but this was her other dress. And then just right in my office, I have so many princess dresses and wigs and everything that I transform into. So that's just one of my things that I do is my princess parties. I'm a mom of one little boy. He's 6, and I'm also a teacher. I've been teaching for 11 years, and I have lots of goals and inspirations for that as well.
You guys heard this lady. She is a woman of many, many, many hats. So tell us about what got you started doing the parties, and then a little bit about your teaching background. I actually want to hear about what it is to be a black teacher.
I love
There's
that.
not too many of you guys.
Thank you. So my parties actually did they kind of were birthed from my teaching experience. So for 10 years, so for the 10 years of my career, this is my 11th year, I was teaching kindergarten. And when I tell you, these kind of go back and forth between princess parties and teaching, because I love children. I'm also the youth director at my church. So I do everything that has to do with kids, I'm probably somewhere involved. So with my kindergartners, one of the new curriculums that came in last year had a unit in it that was all about kings and queens and princesses. And then it also like breached into what am I trying to say? What is the Barack Obama was our president, right? So what is a president? What is Congress and all that stuff? So it kind of like compared how we run our country and how other countries run their countries. And which I thought was really cool to kind of play on it, like, okay, we can dress up and we can be princesses, but what does that really mean? And so when you think about that unit, it kind of sounds boring coming to a 5-year-old, and you're like, they're going to learn about what it is to be a president and like what's a monarchy and what's all this stuff. And so me being a very huge child, I like to say, is that I said, I'm going to dress up and I'm going to be a princess. I'm going to be all these things. So anytime a unit, even if they would come up in our curriculum, I would dress up for the unit. So of course I dressed up as George Washington, or I dressed up as Michelle Obama. I would just dress up for whatever I was teaching because it just made it fun for me. So as a teacher, we get things that we have to teach. Like, the law says we got to teach this. My principal says this is our new curriculum. You have to teach it, whatever. Our job is to make it fun and make it accessible for our children. And that's just what I did. I started dressing up as princesses. I started dressing up in fun outfits. I grew up watching the Magic School Bus. So Miss Frizzle was like there for me. And so I was just pretty inspired by her. And I like to call myself Miss Frizzle or whatever. So just a Black girl version of her. Right. And so that's just kind of where that came from. My princess parties. And so from there, I just started kind of advertising that. It was like, oh, I can do this. I got plenty of parties last summer, and where I was Princess Tiana, or I was Princess Mermaid, and just I have a couple of events coming up now where I'm just really excited to bring that love and light to all children. And me being a Black girl, and dressing up as other princesses that are normally white or a different color, they love that because it just kind of brings that that heart, like, yeah, we can be princesses too, and we can be whatever we want to. So I just do it. I do it for the kids, and again, not just the little Black girls, but for all the girls. But I know deep down inside, those little Black girls and little Black boys love to see what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I absolutely love what you do. It's a beautiful thing, and it also brings, diversity as well. So it's absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love that. So another topic we were going to cover is stress management, because viewers, as you guys know, April is Stress Awareness Month. So another topic that we will be talking about today is how Miss Russell manages her stress in different aspects of life. So the first part we're going to start with is how she manages stress with motherhood. So how do you go about managing stress with motherhood first?
Man, and so motherhood is just a thing, right? People write so many blogs on how to be a mom and their experience of being a mom, and the doctors try to give you advice. And at the end of the day, you just face reality. You wake up every day, every second, every minute. It's a play-by-play. You really never know what you're going to do. You have something in your head that says, this is the kind of mom I want to be, and this is how I want to react to my child. But sometimes that's not how it plays out, right? And so I understand. I only have one child. I have my little baby. His name is G, like the letter, but it's spelled out Jee. And yes, his dad chose that name. And I love it. It grew on me from the get-go. Before he was even born, his dad, my ex-husband, he was like, I want my son's name to be G. And I said, all right, say less. I was like, you're the man. You can name the boy. I'm naming my girls. Don't worry about it. Okay. And so, but this little boy is such a ham. He's so smart. He has my personality, my dad's personality, my mom's personality, his dad's personality, and his own personality. You can just see it. And when he responds to certain things with like his little like sass or attitude, you're just like, huh? Like I can tell exactly where it came from. Like he got that from me. Like when someone questions and I look at them kind of crazy sometimes, I don't always have that princess attitude. I'm like, and I'm waiting for them to tell me why they're asking me a question or what, and he does that same thing. And I go, baby, they just want to know. Oh, okay. So you have to. So with him in general, like I love my baby. With the stress management with him, and again, my ex-husband, we have to co-parent, and that builds a whole nother layer of stress for me. And then again, I'm a teacher, so I'm dealing with kids all day long. And now in my 11th year of teaching, I teach all the grades. So I teach, I no longer teach kindergarten at all, but I teach first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth, and fifth grade. And switching between those levels of ages all day long and trying to teach them something, whew, that's stressful. So just to tell you, from the beginning of my day, I'm waking up in the morning, getting my own child ready for school. Thankfully, he's at my old school that I just left from kindergarten. He is with my former team. I love them. Shout out to Stephen Knight. If you know, Stephen Knight used to be Knight Academy back in the day, and now it's just ECE in kindergarten. It's a really great school. I trust them with my child, of course. So what am I trying to say? So with him, I get him ready. The stress management, when I tell you that we need that routine set in place for our kids, he knows. He gets up, he brushes his teeth. We've already done like the bath time the night before. So all he has to do is brush his teeth in the morning. And I've given him the job of, after he's done brushing his teeth and getting dressed, is to go take care of my dog. He feeds the dog, lets her go outside, and sometimes he needs my assistance, of course, but it's okay. And my baby is, thankfully, he's not a cereal kid. He doesn't really want milk. And my baby doesn't like candy either. I don't know why. I think it's my fault. But he just wants water and like graham crackers in the morning, which to me, that's cereal. So whatever, that's already ready for him. So I think it's just setting that those things in place just from out the morning, because we have like 45 minutes to an hour to get out the house. And I might have a meeting. I have to get him on the bus. And there's just so many things that I have to already be prepped for. So I think the biggest thing of stress management with coming to my child is being prepared. Now, back to his dad. His dad gets him on the weekends. We have already established that it is, in my opinion, or in his opinion, it's healthier for our child to be with me throughout the school week, because I'm able to get him to school, and there's a school bus. My school and his school is about a mile away from each other, and there's a school bus that goes from my school and his school in the morning and after school. So it's just, again, that process. But when I drop my kid off on that bus stop and I say goodbye to him, that is one of the best feelings, to go to a teacher, to another teacher, or a mom to a teacher, to go, your turn, tag, you're it. And they have your kid for the next 7 to 8 hours. And again, I'm friends with his teacher, so she'll text me what he's doing, his day, or send me pictures. And I love that. That gives me all the heart fills throughout my day. But yeah, again, the stress management at school with teaching those kids, that's a whole nother ball game, because now you're working with other parents and teachers and other staff members. And now I'm being a mom to all these other students. And I get to teach second language learners who come from different cultures. So they're not a typical American student, which, again, those are also different. But I have kids from Ukraine, Russia, India, Sudan, Libya, all these different countries that I get to teach. And I'm just saying, like, for me, my mom, it pauses with my son when I put him on the bus, and then it keeps on going from a mom hat to in a teacher hat with these other children that now they're teaching me their culture, and I'm also reinforcing their writing, their whatever they're learning in class, and teaching them different grammar skills. And don't judge me today. This is Saturday. I'm not at work, so if I say something that's not grammatically correct, it's Saturday. It's Saturday. So I just think about like that stress where it's like, okay, now my son went to school. I'm not necessarily worried about him because I know he's in good hands at his school, and now I can go into my work. So for me, stress management is like being able to put things at the door as I walk into one door after the next, or different responsibilities, because again, we just can't have everything going on in our head all day long. I would not be able to teach I have 50 kids that I see throughout the day that are different languages, and they're also going through different things from their household now, right? That now I have to be responsible for. And so school day ends, I tutor after school, my son comes back to me. We have hockey, we might have basketball after school. It's all about him again. It's my world, my work life ends, and it goes right back to my son. So during my working hours are my working hours. That's when I'm working. Being in my 11th year teaching, I learned probably in my 3rd or 4th year. And I think that's when I either got married or when I was about to have a child. The math is not mathing right now. But but whenever that happened, I said, pause. We have to figure out how to put things in boxes and say, nope, I'll worry about that later. Nope, this is my working hours, and I'm done working. I'm back to my son. And when I'm doing an email or something, and my son just randomly walks into my room, it's like he knows I'm trying to work, even though he's been like watching TV for hours. But the minute, I don't know who else does this. I don't know. Do you get this with your kids? It's like the minute you decide you have something to do.
Absolutely.
You're like, I'm going to respond to this email. Your son or your kids pop up. And you're like, you haven't bothered me, not bothering me. Excuse me. You haven't been checking on mommy for this whole time. And here you are as soon as I open up my laptop to see what I'm doing. And that is just so interesting to me that's what always happens. So I will quickly do my email and I'll be like, hey, baby, like, what do you need? And I'll just go straight to him because, again, he knows this is his time. Like, when he gets off of school, I'm his mom and I'm supposed to be there for him. So like I said, hockey, he's looking at me like I better not be on my phone while he's having hockey practice. I better be watching him. And yes, I did say my Black African American child plays hockey and he learned how to skate. And he does play basketball too. But again, I am a mom who believes my child. If he wants to do something, then I'm going to try to figure out how can he do it and how can I like manage my time to get him to do it. I'm not like busting myself or killing myself to like be stressed out. Cause again, we're talking about stress management, but
right.
I put that in my schedule to make sure he's able to do it. Now, again, I have my son from Monday to Friday until after school. I take him to his dad's house. He's there all weekend. So whatever I plan with my son, if it's hockey, if it's basketball, if it's piano lessons, I'm doing that on my time. And I'm not planning it for anything to expecting that his dad's going to do it. Whatever his dad is going to do, he can do that on his time. Doctor's appointments, because I'm the what do you call that? Like the head, the mom.
The primary.
There's that word. Thank you. I'm the primary parent. And so I understand. Yeah, right. I understand my responsibility. And like, if I have a doctor's appointment to take him to, I'm not necessarily telling his dad, can he take him? I've already planned it. I've already said, I'll take off. I'll leave work early and I'll take him. And then I'll let his dad know what happened. And I just own the responsibility. And that's not a knock on his dad at all. That's just understanding like that's what happens when you're not with the mother or the father of your children. Is someone's going to do a lot of the work. And then, like I said, if he can step in when he can, when he's available to, or when I say I need support, he can do it. So again, and then the stress management comes with, what is your village? If it's not the father of your child, like I'm pretty blessed that his dad has him right now. I'm able to do this interview. If I have a fit during the week, like I had work yesterday, DPS had no school for kids, but the teachers had to work, right? Yep. I took him to his dad's house Thursday night after school. So again, I have that ability to call his dad and say, hey, can you get him a day early? Can you come pick him up? So we have that communication. And I understand that I might be a rare form, or our co-parenting might be very rare for a lot of people, but I also have my mom, my dad, I have a niece, I have best friends. I do have someone I'm dating, that like people who can step in, who can, be that village for me if I need them to. And so it's like also being able to say, hey, I don't have to do it all. I do have people that want to help me. I do have people that support me, and stepping back and saying, I don't have to do it all.
Yeah.
And so I know that was pretty long-winded, but like,
no. Like I told you before the interview started, everything that you say will be a detriment to somebody else. It'll help somebody else. So keep on keeping on. I have a similar arrangement with my kid's father, because he's my ex-husband. And it's, it's hard sometimes, but as of lately, I've had a lot of help in my village too. Like my kid's teacher, she takes them some weekends. So I'm able to do work with the podcast, or do my meetings, or, go to work, or, do what I have to. So all that stuff is really, really important when managing stress, is, like you said, knowing who your village is and knowing who you can trust with your children as well. Because as you know, there's a lot of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs running around.
Yes. I agree. That look, yes, it's true. Some people go, oh, I want to watch it. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. I got it. That's okay.
No thanks.
That's okay. And then one thing I would say is, let your no be no. It's like some people want an excuse out of you, and they give you whatever. Let your no be your no. When I became a mom, or even when I became married, or whenever I'm in a relationship or whatever, and there's friends, or there's all these events happening, you're just like, ooh, that's over. To me, I already have my princess parties. I'm teaching. I'm going to school to be a principal this summer. Like thank you. I got a man, I got a son, I got a whole family, and I'm the baby, but I feel like sometimes I have to be, the person who talks between everybody. I have a lot going on, and as do everybody else. And so when I say let your no be your no, is when someone starts asking you what you're doing, can you do this, can you do that for them? Again, think to yourself, can you do that without being stressed out?
Exactly.
It doesn't work for you. And it's okay to say no. If you can, say yes. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's that simple. Someone asked me, what am I doing this weekend? I said, I have an interview with Morning Mimosas this morning. And I said, that's what I'm doing. And I said, after this lovely meeting, we can think about what else we want to do. But this is what is important for me. And my friends know. Or you'll know once you know me. I'll say it again. I go to church. I'm a church girl. Hey, I go to church every Sunday. I might be there 3 times a week because I do choir rehearsal and I do dance rehearsal for my girls and all this stuff. But I'm going to tell you, this is where I'm at. And my girlfriends who are also teachers, who are now moms, they now understand that we plan things ahead of time. We put things on our schedule. Yeah. That's why I love you. You're just like, oh, I plan ahead. And I was like, yes, ma'am, me too. Thank you so much for that, because that spontaneous person that I still am sometimes, right? Especially when concerts come, but that spontaneous person that I was when I was like 10 years younger, it's not really there. I need it on my calendar because it needs to be there. Or if it's not, I'm going to be like, I plan to stay in that day. I'm doing something with my son. I got church. I got something like, and we have to plan ahead. And again, stress management. If you don't plan, you're going to be stressed out.
That is that's true. But here's the devil's advocate with planning though. We can plan to the T.
There
and
it
then
is.
something would change it.
That's true. Life.
That's life. What is that? What is that? What is the thing that the youth be saying now? Life be lifing? Is that how the youth talk?
Life, I posted on my page on my social media like days ago. I was like, life be lifing, but God, I'd be like, I'm gonna just wait for God to somehow it's gonna work out. It's gonna figure itself out, right? Life be lifing though. Make a plan, and you'll be like, sure. Is that your plan? Well, I got something else, so I'm going.
Absolutely. Oh man. So if you guys are just tuning in, we have the lovely Miss Russell here on Morning Mimosa. She just got done telling us a few amazing things about how she deals with stress management, just being a mother and being a teacher, because they both go hand in hand. You were telling me something backstage. I don't know if you wanted to discuss that. I don't want to reopen anything, but I just feel like someone who's been through what you and I have both been through. It'll be beneficial if you care to share.
Yeah, of course. It's so heavy, and it's so heavy, and it's okay because I'm smiling, and it's interesting because I just had to tell this to my my pair. I got a new pair in my classroom, y'all. I'm excited because I got some help with these children, and she told me that she was so inspired by me, by all the like stuff I'm doing, like my businesses and just tutoring and different things like that. And she's a native speaker for oh my goodness, I'm losing Arabic. There we go. She's an Arabic speaker, and she was talking about how she wanted to start kind of her own little business. And I told her she's a mom of I think 2 or 3, and I was like, hey, I want you to understand that this did not happen overnight. I didn't just wake up and be like, whoo, I'm going to be this person. I got this. I got this in the bag. Life has happened to me, and it has taken a long time for me to get here. I'm still not where I want to be, but it's taken me a long time to get right here. And so what we were talking about backstage is that she was talking about her father had passed. And I said, she's taken a long time to recover from that and to kind of, come back to a place where she's felt like herself again. And I took that as the opportunity, like I'll share with you guys, is that my family has experienced so much hurt and sorrow and pain and death. And the most recent one is so dear to me is my sister. And there are 4 of us. I'm gonna still say there are 4 of us, okay? And I'm gonna start crying. I am the baby girl. I'm the baby out of 4 girls. And it goes Shantae, Antoinette, Sonia, who has passed away, and me, Salynthia, or Linty. That's what they call me. Lynthia. And Sonia was the one that we're 4 years apart. So she would have been 39 last July, and she passed. My birthday is June 26th. I have a nephew's birthday who's June 27th. She passed the night of June 27th. We're going to call it June 28th because we just are trying our best, not to associate it with our birthdays. But she passed, and she passed from so many things. From she diagnosed with diabetes. She had developed a habit of things of just not being healthy to her body, and it goes back to 3 years ago where she actually lost her son, my nephew Xavier Collier, and he lost his life to gun violence and gang violence. And I call it the COVID, like the bloody summer of COVID, because my nephew was killed and gunned down with his best friend in a summer night during COVID, when everyone was supposed to be in the house, right? And a lot of young people in Colorado lost their lives that summer. And my nephew wasn't necessarily like innocent. And it was, like I said, gang related, but my sister lost her son and he was 14 years old and his best friend was 15 years old. And right now, I'm going to take this moment for people to, I know as I'm a mom and I have a little boy coming up, right? And he's going to be out here. And a lot of times I'm going to tell you right now as a teacher, your kids are listening to not the adults, not the parents. They're listening to their friends.
Yep.
That's who they're listening to. That's who they are honestly the most inspired by. And we do our best and we try our best. We talk so much. And at the end of the day, it's just, like I said earlier, when I was working and my son would come into the room and he wanted my attention, give him that attention. Like, do things with your kids. But our kids, especially in Denver, and I saw the Westward. I'm gonna bring that up. There was like a cover or whatever, right? Of a Black child with a gun in his back. And as a teacher, I've been working in DPS schools, so I'm not just saying something that I don't know. Our children, and all children, honestly, but I'm gonna talk about our Black children, our boys, and even our girls are out there. Don't let their sweet smiles and you think that they're young. I thought as an auntie that, oh, my nephews made it through the system. They kind of was in the streets a little bit and they got out of it. I didn't think that my baby nephew was going to be one of them. I didn't think so. I had a thinking that he was kind of dabbling in the streets a little bit, but I didn't think he was so far in that this would be the result of his life being taken away with him and his best friend. And ultimately, again, that's my nephew. My sister lost her child. She couldn't take it. And she, like I said, was not healthy to her body. And she was sad all the time. And she was depressed. And my family, I love you so much. And I hope I'm not hurting anyone, and my mom and my dad and all that stuff. But we have to take care of ourselves. And I'm going to go back to the church. We have to find God, because there's so many things that happen to us or happen around us that it's all about our response. And we still have to live. We still have to find a way to balance that stress from day to day and saying, what else can I do? What else can I live for? Right. And not let certain things get to you. And so again, when I talk about my sister, I love her dearly. I have a smile and I'm sad at the same time, because I know that she died from diabetes. First of all, I'm gonna say that it was all from diabetes, and she wasn't eating right. There was just so many things that came out on her autopsy that was like, her body was like, gave it up. I'm done, And like she was ready. And all I ever say to my parents is like, she is with her son. They're reunited, and she missed him so much. And she does have another son, and he's older. He's like 20, 22 now, and he's doing well, and he understands. And again, but my sister was trying to be so strong for so long. So, and now we're here, and me thinking about my sister, and I call her my Black unicorn. Again, my birthday parties and all that stuff was birthed out of her too. And she was the one who was always happy, always goofy. Like, you ever hear somebody just tell a random story that had nothing to do with anything, and just had just making up stuff? Like, my sister would just make up stuff to get everybody to laugh. When I went through my divorce, and mind you, I went through my divorce in the same time that we lost my nephew. And the same time, it was the same year. It was COVID. Same year. She'd just say the most silliest things, and I just laugh, and she just make me giggle and just crack up. And like, even in those moments, she just had all this light, in her. And my sister to this day, like, I know if she could have caught that, like I said, she had diabetes, and it was kind of too late to catch it for her. But if she if she was still here, like I already know like that life for her. Like I hear her in my head all the time laughing at me and calling me Lynthia and calling me all these different names that we used to do. Because like I said, I was always with her. She had no choice but to take me everywhere with her, like to the mall, to her school functions, to her boyfriend's houses. Like I was there. She was responsible for me. So that is it. That's what keeps me going. So when I talk to my para about like where I'm at today and having to go through the plan, right, of thinking I got married and we look here we go. We dated. We got married. We got a good job. I became a teacher. He had his job. We got a house. We had a kid. We did a lot of stuff. We made a plan. Crumble. Like so but like my sister was there for that. And that's another bit of stress, right, that we put on our family. And that's another thing where if again, we haven't even been a year without my sister. We've been about 3 or 4 years without my nephew. And that is so hard on my other nieces and nephews because again, he was just like his mom, the kid who talked about everything, knew about everything, so special, super smart. I have pictures of him with my son, holding him as like a little kid and looking up to him. And my son says something. This is what he says. He goes, Xavier's asleep. Like, yeah, baby. That's what he says. He says he's asleep and that he knows that he's asleep, forever. But that's what he says. And he identifies that my baby is asleep. And he says, and your sister, Auntie Sonia, she's asleep. And so he understands that. And it does something to my heart, of course. And my baby, though, recognizes when I'm sad. And he'll ask me, am I okay? And that my baby helps me with my stress management. Not kids shouldn't, but I mean, I'm not leaning on him. But what I'm going to say is he understands what's going on around him. And I'll say that again with stress management. You don't got to keep everything from your kids. Of course, not the toxic things, but you don't have to be so secretive with your kids. You can have real life conversations with your kids and people around you, because again, I think that's what our children are looking for. They're looking for a connection. They're looking for someone who's going to listen to them, and they just want to talk. And us as adults, we have work, we have ex-husbands, we have whatever we have, and and other things going on. We have sisters, we have siblings, we have best friends, we have people from college, we have bosses, and then we have our kids, right? That are also there. So yeah, I don't know. It's a day by day for me. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm talking to my sister, I'm talking to God, and I'm like, thank you.
I want to say my condolences for what your family has been through. The strength that you have enlightened on the screen today has just been amazing. It's just because I'm not gonna lie, it's I wouldn't have had the strength that you have right now when I lost my daughter. No. And I was 15 when I lost my child. So I sympathize with your sister, and I just
yeah.
That's why I tell people, also take care of your mental health, guys. Like, people think that grief, you're supposed to like get over it, and that, I think that's the thing that kind of disheartens me about grief and how to manage it as far as like stress goes. I like to tell people, please grieve, but please try your best to grieve in the most healthy way possible. Yes. I've noticed that grief turns into either a drug problem, an alcoholic problem. Some people turn to crime, and just a whole bunch of negative things. But I don't know how you just talked about your sister in just this lovely way.
Yeah.
We need more people like you, for real. Like, this world is just so sad, but with people like you, I know happiness can definitely be a big thing for a majority. Just
thank you. And I don't want to sit here like I said, I'm crying and happy at the same time. So like, I don't want to sit here and act like it's an overnight thing, because it's not. Like I said, I wake up in the middle of the night in the morning and I pray and I talk to my sister and I break out in real tears, and just those ugly tears and whatever, and then it goes away and it comes back and all this stuff, and I have to check myself. And it's fun, not fun. It's nice to talk to my mom and my dad about certain things and just try to do it on level. Like it has to come out, and like you said, in a healthy way, And I did over the summer, I did stop drinking. And have I had a drink or two here or there? I have. I didn't go completely health like whatever. And I have months that I go without a drink at all, or I might have a mimosa with my friends, right? But so it is what it is. But it's like, how can I do this healthy way? It's like I'm like, why am I drinking? Why do I want to do that right now? What's the purpose? Because I want to try to drown away my sorrows. I want to try to not think about something, or what else can I do? My other habit is shopping. So I love clothes. I love clothes. I love Another nameless tag that I'm really trying to do in one of my businesses is styling. I saw you, girl, went to your gala. No, you look good, by the way.
Thank you.
Good. I was like, I want to style stylist, and like that's part of like the princess parties tagline. And I love shopping. So like if I can shop for other people, that helps me save my money, and other people can spend their money appropriately. But that's what I do is I find things that make me happy and that I enjoy, like working with children, doing things with my son, and in my process of making the relationships that are here and present and living. Yeah. How do you make those relationships better? And, and what is it, certain things that I want to make better? Like if I have anything going on with making the strongest relationship possible with my mom or my sisters or my friends that I have, there were people that I had stopped talking to before my sister was gone, that when my sister was gone, I had to call them. It was like, she knows who I'm talking to if she's watching this, or she will, like, I had to call her. There was no way that I could be going through this and I don't call this person. It's just like, again, how do you get your village back? Don't do it by yourself. No. You definitely can't do it by yourself. You definitely need people. You need people that understand that you need a break. You need people that understand that you need to sometimes get away. Some people that need you to break down and cry for a minute, or, hey, can I vent to you? Or can I just sit here in this room and I just don't want to be alone. Can we do that? Yeah. So, and I have to still be convincing my parents and people to do things. And my cousin has a wedding Mother's Day week in Arkansas, so we're going back to Arkansas. And I convinced my mom and my sisters. I said, hey, we should go out. We're the only family in Denver. Everyone lives in Arkansas. We need to go out there and represent. And just convincing them, like, how good would it be if grandma had all her daughters together and we get to see grandma. My grandma is 90 years old. We're going out to Arkansas. Like, it's for my cousin's. It's for my cousin's wedding, but I get to see my grandma, right? So it's just, sometimes you just have to convince yourself to do things, and you have to figure out what is the value that you're getting for showing up. And you just never know what you're going to get by just showing up. And I think over when did COVID happen? 24 years.
Yep.
Out of these last 4 years, I've just told myself, go show up. And you might get the Salynthia that's bubbly. You might get the Salynthia that's like, a little sad, but I'm here. But I made it, right? And why I'm there in the process, I'm gonna figure out why I am here, and I'm gonna make myself be there and be present. Yeah.
I absolutely love that. Viewers, so we have the lovely Miss Salynthia Russell on Morning Mimosas. I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show today. You have definitely enlightened me, and I know that you've enlightened someone else today. So Thank you so much for gracing the show. We hope to have you back in the future. You guys, as you guys know, this is Morning Mimosas. Hold on, before I end the show, let's not do that. For the Denver area who is interested in her services, I will list all of her services below. Okay, please, please, please support. Okay, it's even if it's just sharing her stuff, that's support. Okay, but for the people who want to utilize her services, we will post the links down below. Okay, once again, thank you, Queen, for gracing Morning Mimosas. Now, as you guys know, this is Morning Mimosas. We value human life, criminal justice, healing, and educating for the Black and minority communities with a note that we love all people. See you next Saturday.